My wife, and she's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about your abs. Still am.
741. Growing up in New Haven, Connecticut, as I started to fall in love with music, listened to progressive rock radio stations, and even worked occasionally at WYBC, the Yale University station, a new kind of rock was emerging. They called it progressive rock, orchestral rock. It was the coolest thing. In fact, musician friends of mine were so into this. They were pointing out how incredibly talented the musicians were, how they weren't just playing several chords. And yes, rock and roll is wonderful, but these people were making entire album sides that told a story. The biggest of these groups, where I was growing up, was a group called Yes. Yes was so huge. I even had friends who started a band in New Haven, and they called the band Eyes, and they put an E in front of the Yes logo. It was very actionable. I think they eventually...
They used the Roger Dean lettering,
but they went on there, and one of the guys had the bass, and he was playing a really cool bass, and there was a guy who was trying to be Alan White. Anyway, Yes was my favorite band, and I don't know if I've ever actually told Alan this, but I mean, I would buy the albums, I would do some medicinals, and I would listen all the way through, and you know the old expression, see God. I mean, the music was just so brilliant, and at the time it was daring. Years later, I'd be talking to Downtown Joe one day. We were making Twisted Tunes. And Joe would say, out of the blue, there is a guy that goes to the same bar I go to. And I was sitting on my stool looking over, and I said to myself, Joe used to be able to do an entire monologue by himself, by the way. He still can.
Still can.
But now he plays really well as a host as well. Anyway, I said, that looks like Alan White. And he went over and talked to him, and...
we became friends. That was pushing 20 years ago now that I've known Alan. And
by the way, when you told me that, I thought, oh, man, how cool. Like, of all the famous people I've got to interview and get to know, it's like Joe actually knows Alan White, a rock star, a British, brilliant guy.
We remain great friends and neighbors. I actually kind of bought my house to be in proximity of the pub so we could,
hang out with Alan White.
Hang out, and what a great neighborhood to raise kids. Alan raised his kids there. I'm raising my kids in South Bellevue there. And
I'm always weird about famous people because I don't want to bother them. But yeah, I'd love to know someone cool. And so I said to Joe, is there any way that Alan White could maybe play on a Twisted Tune? And Joe said, no, I'll ask him. And I said, please. What happened then?
And Alan, I think we were sitting there one day, and he says, I'd really someday like to meet Bob. Do you think he'd ever want me to play on one of those Twisted Tunes?
That's ridiculous.
I said, I bet we can work that out.
No, you know what you said? Because I kept... So you said, well, Alan White asked me, could I play on a Twisted Tune? And Joe said, I don't know, I'll ask him.
Right.
Same thing he said to me.
And that tune, that first one, was, you can still get it on the record, was Holidays.
Holidays, the Jimi Hendrix parody.
Yeah, it was Randy Hansen, actually.
Randy Hansen, Alan White, and...
Michael Rain? Is that who played
Michael Rain was also on that.
Bass on that, I think. And that was a great cut.
So here we are 25 years later. Yes is playing the Tulalip Resort Casino August 21st. I was talking to Gigi yesterday, and for the first time ever at a Yes show, I don't have to leave early.
And get up the next morning. And the new album, by the way, Heaven and Earth, that you just heard a cut of, is incredible.
It's really
take
good.
You right back to the old stuff.
Yeah, well, it won't take me back to that old stuff.
Right, because
I'll still see God, though.
Yeah, you're not going to be using quite the same.
It'll be on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
I'll get there by hiking, hopefully. Alan White, first off, congratulations on all your success, and thank you for being such a great friend to the community and to our show. Welcome to the Bob Rivers Show.
Hi, Bob. Well, how can I follow that build-up? It's like amazing. No, I'm out here on the road like you're about to do. And first of all, I want to tell you, you can't retire. That's impossible.
Yeah, I've told people that, but as soon as I say I'm stopping the day-to-day radio, they call it retiring. They've put me in some golf shorts. They've got me sitting home watching Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, did you get a gold watch or something like that?
I got the key to the city of Bonnie Lake, Alan.
I've got the key to the city of Newcastle, which doesn't mean much, though.
Well,
Yeah.
it still does, because every September 12th in Newcastle, Washington, we celebrate Alan White Day. He's got his own day that'll live on forever.
Oh, I don't have a day.
yeah,
anywhere.
I mean, we got an Alan White Day.
But wait a minute, he deserves it. Alan has made people happy all over the globe with his music, and is a touring rock star legend. So Alan, how are you? Life is good. You're on the road, right? I talked to Gigi yesterday.
And we're on a 37-show tour right now, which is pretty grueling. I'm actually in Atlanta, Georgia right now, and I'm catching a plane in about an hour and a half to Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
A friend of mine is going to see you. You're going to be in like Hollywood, Florida, at a big show tonight, right? Or tomorrow night.
Yeah, Hollywood, Florida. And it's going to be kind of cool. Actually, it's not tonight. It's tomorrow. I've actually got a day off for a change. We're doing a run of 9 gigs in 11 days right now.
Man. Now, does that work schedule, is that hard on you, or is it still fun to meet people and travel all over the country?
I love the meeting people, and I love the playing on stage, but the traveling kills me.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a grind every day.
Now, do you all go in a bus with a rainbow painted on it, or topographic oceans or something? How do you get around?
No, we fly long legs, and then we'll drive in SUVs on shorter legs.
Right.
Anything under like 200 miles or something like
Under
that.
200 miles you drive, otherwise you fly.
Yeah.
And do you have a road kit, or do you get backline in every city?
No. We have a couple of semis that travel around with us.
So the semi precedes you with all of your gear.
Yeah, it travels overnight. So when we get to a city, we have a crew of about 12 guys, and it's all set up, ready for us to go. We just get there, and we can actually just walk on stage if we want. But we usually do a sound check just to make sure we still know the songs.
Yeah, but really, so you basically, but I mean, it's still the life of a rock star.
Yeah, well, you're about to find this out, aren't you, Bob?
Well, I'm going to tour a little bit. I have modest expectations. I set up all my stuff, and I pack up all my stuff, and I carry all my stuff. And
well, you've got to go through that rookie stage, Bob.
Yeah, well, that's a part of the process, right?
Yeah, it's part of the process. And then eventually you'll have some guy that just follows you around setting stuff up for you.
Yeah.
But,
I
got to congratulate you on one other thing.
Yes, sir.
You became a grandfather, right?
About to become a grandfather.
About to become a grandfather.
Any minute.
I'm a grandfather from 2 months ago, and I thought rock and roll and grandfathers don't really get on to me. Then you hold the baby, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you, by the way, how cool is it? The kid's going to have a grandfather who's a rock star. Most kids' grandfathers, like my grandfather, he's a pretty cool guy, and he influenced me a lot. But his big claim to fame was he would take his teeth out and talk to me with them in his hand.
So did mine. It's amazing.
Yours did too?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't remind me. I have to go get on a plane in a minute.
So, and by the way, I think some of this is we'd be doing that too, but we have better dentistry these days.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot better than the guys in England, for sure.
All right, tell me about your new album. I've listened to a piece of it. It's amazing.
It's actually doing real well, and it's being well accepted. I went in the charts in England at number 10, and I just got an email this morning saying that it went in the Billboard 26.
Awesome.
Wow.
So, I mean, a bunch of older guys who've been doing it a long time, it's not too bad.
Yeah, look at you. You guys are the stars. You're the reigning champions. And by the way, the clubs and the fairs and those big monstrous gatherings and get-togethers and the casinos, there are more places to play now than ever. I was talking to Gigi yesterday, and she said, especially your summer, they'll book you constantly and
That's the one problem, Bob.
yeah,
I've missed the last 5 or 6 summers in Seattle.
that's what Gigi was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So my boat's sitting there, hasn't been used, so anyhow, I get back on the 25th of August.
If you need somebody that knows how to use a boat, Alan, to keep it going after the 8th, Bob's got time. He's
Yeah,
pretty
I could
good
be
on a
your boat manager.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. He has a nice boat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'll take you out for a cruise.
all right.
Alan, you've been on our show so many times, and you've been such a huge part of it, and I want to thank you while I still have a microphone to do so. You've become a good friend, but do you remember the first time you ever came and visited us in the studio?
Well, it's got to be a long time ago. I mean, I don't.
Well, I was nervous. I remember it was KISW, and I think we were getting ready. We went to Alaska fishing together and took some listeners, but we were doing another promotion the day that we had you in, and I was nervous about how you were going to feel about it.
No, I had a great time on that trip. Are you joking? It was sponsored by Heineken.
Yeah, not the fishing trip was great, but the day
What's
you
the
came
day
in,
he
the
came
day
in?
you came in to promote it was when Titanic was a huge movie, and we were doing a
That's right, it was.
we were doing a promotion with the Titanic movie.
With a sketch artist
Yes,
who was drawing naked women,
yes.
Yeah.
and you had to be there and watch.
And then I caught this halibut, and when I pulled it to the surface, it looked like a prehistoric monster. It was so big.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to say just that.
Yeah, I think maybe you're skipping the first time in the studio. But I was worried because I didn't know you super well then, and we were doing this draw 'em like Jack's French girls thing, and then people were coming in and drawing naked women for the Titanic. And
That's it. I remember the first time I saw you guys.
And then he pulled up a halibut.
You had a nude girl on the couch.
yeah.
What kind of radio show is this?
Yeah, I was worried about that, that we were making a bad first impression. So I'm so glad that, here 20-some years later, you're still hanging out with us.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a pleasure. I love all you guys, and I'll be back soon. And like I say, I'm going to be at Chihuahua, and we're going to have fun up there. We've been playing a lot of amphitheater type places like that. So,
Alan White. We'll put a link to the new album on the website. Alan, love you. Thank you so much for all the years of being a great rock star in the show. You've been really fun to talk to, and keep going.
hey, right, Bob, and no doubt I'll see you down the line when I get back.
Alan White.
Just doesn't get